In today's video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the institutions coming in, the volume that is coming in, and how little Bitcoin is actually available to purchase. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Blackbox, your source for no-nonsense crypto fundamentals and technicals. In today's video, we're going to talk about the institutions coming into Bitcoin. We're going to talk about how much supply is actually available to trade on the exchanges and what that could actually equate to the Bitcoin price. So let's just kind of take a quick glance at this article here. Bitcoin institutional inflows top $1 billion in 2023 amid Bitcoin's supply squeeze. So it's not a surprise, a lot of institutions are coming in. Some of the institutions that they're reporting here, we obviously have Fidelity coming in. We have BlackRock with their upcoming ETF. We also have obviously MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor's company that has been accumulating thousands and thousands of Bitcoin. But over the past 2 months, we've seen a lot of funds begin to gear up and get ready for the Bitcoin bull market. Now, all that's fine and dandy. This is kind of just showing demand. We're seeing real dollar figure demand come into the Bitcoin space. But the market is supply and demand. So when I'm looking at the supply side of things, we can go over to Glassnode. So Glassnode, they kind of got rid of their stack charts, which is unfortunate at my tier, but we'll keep this chart relatively simple. The black line represents Bitcoin's price. The orange line represents the amount of Bitcoin available for trade on exchanges. Okay, so back here at the COVID pandemic, the COVID dump, that happened here in March of 2020. That was the all-time high for supply, Bitcoin actually available on the exchanges for retail to purchase. Ever since that point, this orange line has been in a decline. So we had a whole bull market after that. We crashed down to 3,500, something like that. On here, it's showing $5,000. I think depending on the exchanges, it went lower than that. But here on Glassnode, it's saying that it dumped to about $5,000. And then we rallied from that point basically up only all the way to $65,000, 62 here on Glassnode. And throughout that whole time, Bitcoin's supply started off that rally with 17.5% available to trade. So we'll just call it 10. We'll call it 20. 20% of Bitcoin in existence was available to trade, and we were able to do many, many multiples off of that. That's approximately a 13x, okay? That's with a 20% supply. Now, that number has been declining throughout the whole bull market, throughout the whole bear market, and up until this point, it's still going down. Currently, the available supply is 11.9%. So closer to 10% available supply. So, if we were able to do a 13x with 20% supply declining, it stands to reason that this whole narrative that's been building of Bitcoin having diminishing returns, that narrative could flip. We could actually see expansion of the returns in Bitcoin because there simply isn't enough Bitcoin to go around. Period. End of story. A lot of people think, Bitcoin's old, it's clunky, it's not going to produce the gains that it once was able to do in the past, but you're forgetting the dynamics of supply and demand. We have increased demand at an institutional level. That is going to increase demand at a retail level. We also have DeFi developing on Bitcoin, which is going to be another huge driver of demand on chain. So we have a lot of factors lining up, and there's just simply no Bitcoin to go around. There's none of it. Most of the Bitcoin, I think 70% of Bitcoin, just pulling this off the top of my head, but 70% of the Bitcoin, it has not moved in over a year. So you've got some serious hodlers holding on to these coins at this point in the market. So to see a shift, it's definitely possible, but I think we're going to see more supply shrinkage moving forwards. This is a well-established downtrend, so the trend is your friend until it ends. And until we see an uptick in this, we can only assume that there's going to be even less and less Bitcoin available for trade. Now, what does this mean for price? Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin. Short-term price, we're looking at a few different scenarios here. The market is kind of digesting this $38,000 level. So, we're trying to kind of consolidate here. Now, we could come down and test the top of this triangle formation here, test it, and then bounce off and get through this resistance. We could just continue to trade sideways. Let's just back that up a little bit. We could just trade sideways through the resistance as we digest that supply and have a breakout to the upside. And we could also break down to the downside. Now, the trend is your friend until it ends, and we're in an uptrend. We're in an uptrend with a lot of demand, and I'm having a lot of people come out of the woodworks and ask me, hey, is now a good time to buy Bitcoin? So people are coming back into the market. So because of the demand, because of the lack of supply, and because of the trend, I'm only going to assume that the more likely scenario is that we do in fact get through this resistance point and head up to higher levels. Now, my higher level targets, I'm just going to switch over to the 3-day chart here. My higher targets, turn off alpha numerics just for a moment. Now, my targets are going to be up in this general range, kind of between this $43 and $48,000 level for the price of Bitcoin. 45 actually. Yeah, we'll say 43. 43 to kind of $48,000 level. That's kind of the next impulse. If you look at this reaction, if you look at this rally, all of these different moves, we didn't spend a lot of time consolidating anywhere in between these two levels. So as soon as we're able to break above 38, there's not a lot holding us back until we get to $43, $44, $45,000. So I'm assuming that we're going to continue this rally to the upside, maybe even get an impulse that charges way past that up to maybe 53, then we'll begin to get some sort of consolidation, some sort of correction as we come into the halving. Once we pass the halving, we'll begin to transition into our full-blown bull market. Right now, we're kind of in phase 1 of the bull market. Once we get into the halving, that's going to bring us past an all-time high break. Once the price of Bitcoin is able to break past that all-time high, we're going to transition into up only. And that's going to be when everybody gets very, very excited. So for the short term, we're digesting this area. But long term, I mean, if you're watching this video now, if you're in crypto now, if you're allocating at this point in the market, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. Nothing here is considered financial advice, but I've been doing this for a very long time, and all signs are pointing to favorable market conditions ahead. Now, before I get out of here, I just want to remind you to head on over to blackbox.pro. That is our free Bitcoin trading bot, basically portfolio management on autopilot. If you are interested in getting set up with the bot today, you just need an email and a password. We'll see you in the Discord and we'll help you with next steps. This is going to be a very exciting bull market. You need to get bull market ready. You need to get into the Discord servers. You need to get into the communities. You need to have your finger on the pulse. Or if you don't want to do any of that at all, at least have our Bitcoin trading bot manage your portfolio for you. It's free, it's easy to set up, and we're more than happy to assist where we can. That is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. If there are any projects that you want me to take a look at, leave them in the comment section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.